Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about True Romance, and this movie is directed by Tony Scott, and it came out in 1993, starring Christian Slater, and I've never seen this movie before, and the only reason it was on my radar is because Quentin Tarantino wrote it. He didn't direct it, but rather he wrote the screenplay for this movie, and I actually really liked this movie. I had fun with it, and I love the dialogue in the movie like I do with all of Tarantino dialogue. It's usually a standout in those movies. Whenever it's his dialogue, you can always tell that it's from him, and it's really fun. Especially in this movie. And I like the tone for this movie, and I like what it's going for. And the characters are fun to watch and also interesting. And there's a lot of characters in this movie, and each one of them has something interesting about them or keeps me engaged with the story because of how they're written and also how they're performed. I thought the performances were great, and there's a lot of side characters, a lot of big names in this movie that, well, probably not that big back then, like Brad Pitt. I don't think he was really big back then, but he only has like 5 minutes of screen time. And Dennis Hopper's in the movie as well. He's pretty funny. Christopher Walken, Samuel L. Jackson as well. And there's not a lot of wasted time in the first half of the movie. That's where I was enjoying the movie the most. Second half kind of lost me a bit, but I'll get to that in a bit. What this movie thrives on is the script, and that's the best thing about it. If you like the script for this movie, then you're going to enjoy the rest of the movie, is how I feel about it, because in terms of how the movie's shot, it's not impressive. And the only other film that I've seen from Tony Scott is Top Gun from memory, and I'm not a big fan of Top Gun, honestly. I just find it to be kind of dull and not something that I would ever come back to. Like, I've seen it a couple times, didn't really get it, and it's just very forgettable to me. And the worst part about this movie is the action, because you can barely tell what's going on, and it's like, oh my god, you suck at directing action. And there's too many close shots in this movie to where you can't really see the location, and that was kind of annoying, especially in the action scenes. Some of the editing choices at a couple points were a bit annoying, and that was another thing that dragged this movie down for me. But what does help this movie out is that it's kind of unpredictable at points. That's what I like about it, and the licensed music I also enjoyed, and there's a lot of things about this movie that it has going for it that really work for me, but unfortunately there's some elements technically that kind of hold it back for me from being something really great. My favorite scene in this movie, without spoiling anything, would probably be the interrogation scene. That was pretty funny and memorable, and definitely like what I'm going to remember this movie for. Like, that scene alone just like makes the movie worth it to me, and it doesn't take that long to get to it either. So if you get to that scene, just know that you're gonna have a lot of fun. Because what they do is pretty ridiculous. And like I said earlier, I liked the first half better than the second half, because the second half is where things kind of slow down for me. I'm not really with the story as much. Some of the characters felt a bit unnecessary and could have been cut out of the movie, and the movie would be no different. And that's where I was kind of starting to feel the runtime was in the second half of the movie. First half's great. Had no issues there, but second half kind of just dragged for me. Like, this could have been better, it could have been shorter. Luckily, this movie's not over 2 hours. It's exactly 2 hours. So, that's where we're at with this movie. It's pretty good, it's solid, it's entertaining. It's not visually strong like I would like it to be, but I love that dialogue. I do feel as though if anyone else wrote this movie, if Quentin Tarantino didn't write the screenplay for this movie, this film wouldn't have much value to me at all. So that script is really what saves this movie for me. So check this movie out whenever you get the chance, and with all that being said, I'm going to give True Romance a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of True Romance, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Spaceballs. And before I end this video, I just want to mention, yes, I know in my previous video that I said that this video was supposed to be for The Substance, but unfortunately the only way for me to watch The Substance is to buy it digitally, and I don't really like doing that unless I can buy it physically. I would much rather rent digitally and buy physically than to buy digitally, if that makes sense. So because of that, I chose to just watch something else. But I'll get to The Substance another day. Don't know when, but we'll see when that happens. So anyways, look forward to my review of Spaceballs, a movie that I am able to watch. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.